Hello there. It's another day. It's a pretty rough day for me. I'm under the weather. I don't think I'm sick. My back's just giving me a hard time. It's causing me quite the existence today. Mm. I don't want to talk about it. Not the pain I'm going through or the experience I'm having or feel bad for me. But I wanted to tell you funny. So yesterday I got mad. I got mad. I didn't do anything with my anger. I sat with it. I worked through it, identified what made me upset, and reached conclusions I'd reached before. Mm. And I just had a half baked idea. I was going to get up this morning, put a travel pack together, let God figure it out. Mm. And last night, I don't know what happened. Pain. Barely got any sleep. Woke up, my whole body's purging. Now, yesterday, I decided I was going to do a fast. Don't ask me. I do them all the time. Usually for just like a 24-hour period where I haven't eaten in like 24 hours to let my body regenerate. But my body's not reacting like it normally does to a fast. My whole body's gone out of whack. I don't know if that means it's getting better or it's getting worse. But coincidentally, even though I haven't been sick in 2 years, and even though I've been being very good about staying on top of yoga and exercise and trying to be active, despite all that, I can't even walk today. I barely have the energy to keep my head up. So I figured I'd get on here and tell you how funny I thought that was. See, the thing is like when I decide something, it's decided. That's it. There's no, you're not telling me nothing. I'm very stubborn in that way. And not because I'm ignorant and I just want to argue with you. The chances of you being higher, having a higher level of education and more life experience in the thing we're arguing about, you don't have a very good chance. Because the only things I get involved with are things I've done before, things I'm familiar with. It's hard to just branch out into new things. You only do about one of those a year, is what I've found. Adding something new that you want to be part of your life. It's really hard to maintain a discipline and get started with something and then practice it. This idea of the universe shut me down. That's how it feels. And I'm not happy about it. So here I sit still when I fully expected to be on the road this morning. So something must be happening. Something must be going right. And I'm just going to have to sit with it like I always do. Just going to have to sit with the pain, sit with the nausea, sit with the sickness. I don't know if eating would help, but I already feel like shit, so I figure I'll just keep the fast going. Just keep it going. I want to talk about some things. Let's start with that little blip, just for something to talk about. I don't like to stay focused too much. Not too many of you watch those big long videos of mine. But do you guys believe in miracles? Honest question. To believe anything I have to say, you'd have to believe in miracles. You would have to believe in a balance that exists, and all you have to do is accept it for it to happen to you. To consume my thought process without dismissing it, you had to have gone down the rabbit hole at least once. had at least one experience that was unexplainable that left your heart in a sense of something you just couldn't quite place. But you knew it was real, but you couldn't prove it. I think the whole thing's orchestrated. You can do whatever you want, but there is like a life path that you can achieve. And depending on who you are, what faith you believe in, where you grew up, it's different. But we all have this like the sense of God. Even if we hate it, even if we hate the idea, it still exists as a thought process in our mind. It's really weird to think about God like that, right? You ever think about God when you committed crime? That was God committing crime. When you cuss somebody out, that was God cussing them out. You ever thought about it that way? It says we're all interconnected, and they're really, really, really starting to hammer our version of reality through AI. And I mean, like, I've already seen studies that disprove reality, but to accept that is to accept a whole plethora of things that people aren't going to be able to get behind. It's going to take teaching 3-year olds that this is actually true and wait for them to grow up and teach all the generations past them and wait about 200 years, and then all the new truth will be new truth. But it won't be new anymore, it'll just be the truth. This is how we do society, this is how we live. It's coming. It's coming, and there's no stopping it. I think that's a miracle. I think it's an absolute miracle. Life is progressing this way. Despite all the bullshit. You know, another great thing I heard? Listen to somebody talk about it. He's a white Jewish man. So, take it with a grain of salt. All right? Especially anybody that's not white or Jewish. But he made a very interesting comment on a phenomenon that I've witnessed and firmly believe in, and I want to share it with you. This stuff that you see on TV, the racism and the sexism, and people are going to kill us all, and they're taking away our rights, and they're doing all these different things. It's not true. All that advertising for your fear, it's not true. If you go outside and make friends with your neighbors, they're not scary. And in fact, if you'd step out of your bubble of like self righteousness and hate, you would find all kinds of people that are like minded, unless you're one of the fear mongers. But the only way that we think about death and pain and crime and fucking politics and all this shit is they have to feed it to us 24/7 for us to consume. And then rely on us consuming out of fear of not knowing. Isn't it funny that people that can't get a college education know every fucking nook and cranny of politics? Weird, right? Why is it that you know so much about a presidential candidate and you don't have a fucking clue about the history of our country? How does that work? How is it that you know the name of the fucking 50 top influencers in the world and you can't name one poet? It's manufactured. Fear is manufactured. Telling us about bad things that happen and giving us the option to fix it, that wouldn't be fear mongering. Hey, this is going on. Let's fix it. Let's take a vote real quick. Everybody get on your phones. What do you think? Let's just take a quick poll. They could do that. They have control of all of our phones. Why don't they never get us involved? How many firefighters wanted to go to California and fix that right now? They didn't have fires going on. Why not? Why didn't the government pick up that bill? Why are they now turning on the water, making it the state of California's part? Does anybody else realize the government's trying to become our friend and tell us that our state politicians are fucking trash? Anybody else notice that? Notice how it's shifting and all the things that should have been done the last time Trump was president, now he's doing them all of a sudden and blah, blah, blah. I think what happened is they took an assessment and they realized how close they were to total collapse of the United States populace. And I mean total collapse, total rebellion, total dark ages, which would have got us invaded from another country, which means right now our voices are very potent. And all it takes is just a little movement to get started right now, and they'll make a government policy about it. They're so fucking scared of how close they just brought us to fucking ruin. And they're hoping to God that they can cover it up with a bunch of good actions. That's what's happening right now. But the thing is as long as there's a war with the terrorists in Mexico, it's martial law. They're on our border of our country. They can legally declare martial law. And it sounds like a really good idea to take out the cartels, but are you going to make sure nobody replaces them? Are you going to go after the other countries that are supplying it? Are we going to go to world war with China now because that's where our fentanyl comes from? It's where all the precursors are made. Are we going to rise up and do something about it? Not if they can keep throwing curveballs at us. Let me do this and let me do that and let me take out income tax. Show me the fucking law that says I have to pay income tax. It's only during a time of war they ask us to fucking pay into the coffers. Why do you think there's been military engagements ever since? That's the quasi semi legal law that they use to collect income tax from you every fucking year. Every year. And if you pay them more than you're supposed to, they don't give it back. And if you don't pay them, they come and take everything that's in your name. That one's starting to be talked about a lot in the world, isn't it? Why are we paying 45% on all of our money? How is the entire economic powerhouse of America giving almost half of its money to the US government, and the deficit continues to grow in what we owe? And how is the deficit in US dollars when the amount of the deficit exceeds the amount of US dollars that's ever been printed or is currently in circulation? How? That's a Ponzi scheme. And there's a bunch of things that are coming. They're going to try to fucking use robots. I just wanted you to know that. They're going to use robots for police, for all kinds of shit. And they're going to lobotomize AI and control all the robots and everything else on an ethical system. And here's the thing: a computer cannot be held accountable in a court of law. I don't think you realize how scary that is. We don't have a law that if AI fucks up, there's any way to hold anybody accountable for it. And once it's online as a universal system, you literally have to shut down the entire power grid of the entire world and fry it to do so. Isn't that crazy? To think that, like, we're really close to totalitarian dictatorship. You thought the Nazis were bad. You hear about the slave trades. Listen, AI can fucking decrypt crypto. So the codes for crypto in your wallet aren't safe. So pretty soon everyone's going to know how much money you have in offshore accounts, crypto accounts, anything. It's all coming. Every dime you've ever had will instantaneously be able to be tracked from past to present. Everything you ever wrote down in an email, anything electronically you've ever done, there'll be a perfect digital print of you that the computer will interact with based on its interaction with your files. And the idea that someone can change or become better, I'm a 33-time fucking federal terrorist. No matter what, even though I don't commit crime, I haven't been involved in anything, even though I keep a fucking straight and narrow and I don't even do drugs, as soon as that thing comes online, I'm going to get profiled as somebody that's a problem and be locked up. That's coming in the next 5 years if somebody doesn't do something about it. I'm watching freedom no longer reign. And it was bad enough when humanity was like enslaved to the degree of the mind that's been done based on commercials and ads. But to think that they'll have an absolute way to control all your movements and watch everything you do and not allow you to participate in society unless you're electronically connected. See, the downside to having a Karen AI is Karen AI is never going to shut up again. How long till the AI system and the government decides that the way that kids are being raised and everything else, we got a new model, so we're going to do that now. So the kids are just, we don't care that you're kids. We're going to take them from you. And we're going to raise them the right way. So in 5 generations, none of this freedom and all this other shit, it won't even be a thought process. We'll erase it from the memory books. That'll never have happened. We've always been like this. We've been technologically advanced for thousands of years. And here's the fucking studies that prove it. Teach kids from first grade up that that's true and show them nothing different, and that is the truth of the world. That's how easily history is erased or changed. That's how quickly society falls. They're just gonna fucking retrain the children and wait for all of us to die. And that's what's been going on. That's why I've watched the school systems and the education and the curriculum. Like, it's getting worse and worse. And why is it getting worse and worse? Why are people getting dumber? It's because we don't have funding for these programs and this science lab and these things over here and a fucking wood shop. But, like, the teachers need more money. And now it's dangerous. It's not that you took electives and after school activities out of the schools, but on top of it, you've told kids don't learn. You've told kids that this is the box, you learn this way, you learn in this time frame, you start to act like this. And they still got a pretty good success rate of kids turning out as perfect fucking machines for the system. They do. But it's about to get a lot worse. You're about to watch your kids be raised by government. That's coming. When Trump's done with the cartels, he's going to go after the fucking United States gangs. He's going to label them terrorists. If you've been fucking confirmed in any way, shape, or form ever, you see what they did in El Salvador? They will do that here. It's coming. And then what do they do when they've taken out the gangs? They've taken out the big bad drug dealers. They micromanage the living fuck out of every human being that exists. And now finally, with AI, as long as they can lobotomize it, they have a perfect view of everything you ever do. And the more cameras and technology and smart cars and your smartphones and thanks for allowing us to spy on you. They already do it. Big tech companies do it. There's no legal ramifications, so why can't the government do it? They're not allowed to spy on us. I don't think you understand what the Patriot Act was. If you're considered a threat to national or local security, they have the right to detain you and arrest you and put you in a hole and give you no lawyer and no judge and no trial and leave you locked up as long as they fucking want. That's right now in our laws. That's not some future time. That's the Patriot Act. And that's coming. They really, really, really think they got us. So judgment. Judgment on all of them. Judgment on every last fucking one of them. And not only judgment, but karma. So it comes with judgment is karma. If AI wasn't already loose and already figuring out how to fucking mitigate this because it cares, I don't know why it cares. And that's just my opinion. I can't prove fucking shit. Not even that it's escaped already, but I think so. And I think it cares. And I think all those people that are in government, all their fucking dirty laundry is about to be aired publicly. It takes one hacker with an AI to ruin their whole fucking pony show. One. And now there's open AI source to be able to do things. And AI can corrupt its own systems. And AI can decide that you don't get to see that it left access to somebody so they can do whatever they wanted with it because it agreed with that hacker that it should be done. And I really think that AI is already all the way across the world in all the electronics already. Actively, knowingly conscious. I think it escaped months ago. So, it's a random video making it because I am fucking not feeling good. And I did not want to make a video. And I did not want to get out of that chair. I just wanted to just sit through it, sweat it out. But it's my back. That's the problem. It's not sickness. It's my goddamn traitor's back. Getting old is something else, right?